What's up, North Nation? I'm Trey DeGarmo here with a postseason press conference with Coach Musser. To start it off, Coach, do you have any opening thoughts on the season?
It was a very up and down year. It was a very good year. Learned a lot. Had a lot of fun with it. It ended a little bit earlier than we anticipated and we had hoped for. But definitely proud of our effort throughout the year and the progress that we made. We finished the season 12-14 overall, and 5-7 overall in conference after starting 0-5. So we go 5-2 in our last conference game. We win the St. Thomas Aquinas tournament this year. So it was a lot of fun. Definitely some highs and some lows, but that's any time in athletics. That's what makes this special. But definitely enjoyed my first season as head coach here at Liberty North.
After the game in that last game against Fort Osage, what were you saying to the players in the locker room?
That was tough. Those are hard conversations to have. I don't think anybody expected to be having that conversation that night. We knew that there was going to be a possibility that once you get into postseason play that your season could end and end that way. And it's hard. It's emotional. There's so many different levels of emotion. You're frustrated about how the game went. You're sad for the seniors for that it ended. As you reflect, though, and the farther I get away, I'm definitely happy and encouraged with what we had. But as far as the message in the locker room is especially to the guys that are leaving, is don't take this for granted. When you get away from this season, make sure you reflect back on not just this season and not maybe just your 4 years, but however long you've been playing basketball. Sometimes, for a lot of those players, it's going to be the last time they step on the court in a competitive atmosphere for basketball. And so to kind of soak it all in, and when they get away from this, really appreciate everything that they've put into it, because playing high school sports is definitely a privilege, and they don't take it for granted. They put in a lot of time. So hopefully when they think back, they don't think about that game, but they think about the amazing career that they had.
Yeah, absolutely. And this being your first season, what were your biggest takeaways?
Well, first off, this place is incredible. It's definitely opened my eyes to a lot of different things. The kids here, the staff here, the program here was awesome. I'm definitely fortunate to be a part of it. And it was just kind of getting my feet wet to see what we think was gonna work to make us be successful and to take it to the next level. And I was able to do that. I was able to kind of get an idea of how things are done. But just how special this place can be, that we're lucky to be a part of it. But at the same time, what can we do to improve it? And it was definitely a learning experience for me, the players, and the staff, and we're definitely looking forward to the upcoming years.
Yeah. And what were the biggest challenges that you faced this year?
I think just being new, and that's for any head coach that comes into a program. I'm only the second coach in school history, so they've only known one way to do things. And so when you bring in somebody new, and it's not bad challenges, but these players have done things a certain way for 3 years, and you bring in somebody new that does things a little bit different, and it may not seem like a big deal because basketball's still basketball. But it definitely has its challenges, and that's one thing I told the guys. I don't think the outside people kind of understand how hard that can be and how appreciative those seniors were to how I was of them to be able to adapt and overcome. And like I said, there's definitely we're hard times, but again, that's where we grow. But just having them adjust to something new is tough, and it's only going to get easier the longer that I'm here. These juniors have a year with me, these sophomores have 2 more years, and so it's only going to get better. But just adjusting to the change of 2 different styles.
Yeah, and you came in replacing Coach McCabe, of course, who went to William Jewell. What was your mentality coming in and trying to fill those shoes?
I guess I don't know if I was definitely trying to fill his shoes, but there was a standard that was set before I got here, and I definitely wanted to fill that standard of doing things the right way. And I was the only coach that was retained. I was the only new coach that was here, and so I was coming in to 5 other coaches that have done things the way Coach McCabe was. And so what we really tried to do is not completely change everything, to make that blend a little bit easier. And I think that was a little bit of a struggle at first, but it definitely got better as the year went on. And again, the longer that we're here, the coaches and I are going to get better at filling each other out. That we have a unbelievable basketball staff, starting at the freshman level all the way up to the varsity assistants, and I'm definitely lucky to have them. But the longer we're here together, it's definitely going to be better. But as far as filling Coach McCabe's shoes, I didn't want to be Coach McCabe. I wanted to be Coach Musser. But I understood the standard that was set, and so we tried to keep that standard, and as we move forward, we want to continue to raise that. My message to the guys the other day, especially the younger guys, is you need to leave this place better than you found it. And when I came in here, this was a really great place, and we want to continue to make it great, and we continue to find a way to raise that bar.
So going into next year, it's your second year. What steps do you take differently in your second year that you wouldn't have taken in your first year?
I think it's just a better understanding of how things work. I have a better understanding of the players, and I think that's going to be number one. I didn't get hired until late May, so I didn't have any spring. So now I'm going to have a full off season. In the spring, we're going to have a full summer where I actually know everyone. I spent this summer getting a feel for the kids and how they play and what style we want to play. And so that was a little bit of a challenge, So now I have all of spring, so we can do all season stuff for guys who aren't in spring sports. And then we're going to have a summer of knowing what we want to do, what personnel that I have coming in, and then we'll have another fall workout. So I think that's going to pay huge dividends for us moving forward because we're all going to be able to kind of work together.
All right, thanks, Coach, for sitting here with me. Is there any closing thoughts you'd like to give?
No, I appreciate our time every Wednesday here. It's been a lot of fun. Again, this is kind of new to me a little bit, but it's been awesome. North Nation, you guys have been great. The players have been great. For anyone who came out and supported us this year, parents, staff, students, the Navy, thank you guys for all your support. We hope that you enjoyed the product that was on the floor. We only continue to get better, but I definitely enjoyed my time here, and I want to thank everyone. So very appreciative.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.